Okay, let me tell you a story that perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with Hollywood egos, and why Clint Eastwood might just be the last real cowboy in the film industry. Picture this, Kevin Costner, mid-90s peak, A-list fame, full I'm the star now energy, refusing to leave his trailer on set. And Clint? He doesn't yell. He doesn't negotiate. He just says, send him home. Boom. Mic drop. That's the moment Scott Eastwood recently revealed on the Armchair Expert podcast, and honestly, I need this framed as my desktop background. Because this isn't just a juicy Hollywood anecdote, it's a masterclass in leadership, ego management, and why the film industry's power dynamics are broken. Let me unpack this like a director's commentary track. First off, let's talk about Clint's approach. Scott said his dad never raised his voice, but when you're a legend like Eastwood, you don't need to. The sheer weight of his reputation did the yelling for him. Think about that. Most directors today are practically begging actors to follow basic set etiquette. But Clint? He treats disrespect like a technical error. Oops, the star's not cooperating. Cut the scene. Send accounting to process his paycheck for literally doing nothing. That's not just authority, it's a philosophy. To me, this screams, I respect the craft more than the ego. And in an era where actors demand trailers bigger than my first apartment because they need their energy space, Clint's move feels revolutionary. Now, let's dissect Kevin Costner's side. Was he being a diva? Or was this a symptom of what Scott later calls the stunted growth of sudden fame? Here's where it gets fascinating. Costner had just come off Dances with Wolves and The Bodyguard, two massive hits. Suddenly, he's not just an actor, he's Kevin Costner, cultural phenomenon. And when fame hits that fast, people start believing their own press. But here's the twist, Clint didn't humiliate him. He didn't call him out in front of the crew. He just removed him. Like editing a bad scene. In my opinion, that's the key difference between old school and modern Hollywood. Back then, you earned respect through work. Today, it's handed out like participation trophies. And this circles back to Scott's bigger point about growing up in a famous family. He's not just bragging about his dad, he's contrasting Clint's parenting with the child stars we see imploding today. When he says, you get stunted in your growth by early fame, I immediately think of the kid from Home Alone or that 90s Nickelodeon cast. But Clint actively chose Carmel over LA, normalcy over access. Why? Because he understood that fame is a virus. It spreads fastest when you're too young to build immunity. And Scott's takeaway, I saw some behavior in this business that's shocking, is basically a PG-13 rating for, I witnessed full-blown Hollywood insanity before I turned 10. But here's the deeper layer, this story isn't about Costner. It's about how power should work. Clint didn't flex his authority, he neutralized someone who'd forgotten the hierarchy of filmmaking. The director is God. The actor is a tool. And when that tool stops working, you swap it out. Compare that to today's actor-driven projects where scripts are rewritten on the fly to make the star look cooler. Clint's move was a reminder that movies are collaborative art, not a solo vanity project. So what's the takeaway? Maybe we need more directors who see egos as technical difficulties. Maybe the real tragedy is that this story feels legendary in 2024 because it's so rare. Or maybe, just maybe, Kevin Costner learned a lesson that day about showing up. Either way, next time you're tempted to act like a star, remember, there's always a director out there willing to cut you from the script. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments, who's the biggest Hollywood ego you'd love to see get Clint's go home treatment.